Welcome to the number 5 live show, and I hope you enjoy this show. And before I forget, I'd like to thank the moderators for keeping the chat civil. And if you're a troll, well, you can just leave right now. Thank you for the sponsors for sending all kinds of interesting products, and thank you for showing up. There's 3 main segments for this show. The first one is going to be me answering questions that have been asked on RodneyReynolds.com, and I'll take some questions from you from this week's video reviews, Q&A videos, as well as poll videos, and the last thing will be me showcasing a interesting mystery kind of product that I have here that was sent by one of my sponsors. So first I'm going to ask you where you're from, and I'm going to create a poll on this, just a minute or so. And I really want to know if you're from North America or if you're other overseas. I'm in North America, so if you're here, that would be interesting for me to know how many actually are tuning in that are from North America and how many are other overseas. So let's start this poll. Where are you from? Start the poll. Here we go. Look at that. You know, I'm amazed that there's so many people from overseas. It's good to see. And yes, if you're watching the show and if you're not in the chat, get in the chat, because it will be nice to actually hear from you. I mean, there's people from everywhere. Dublin, Ireland, Malaysia, you know, here in my neck of the woods in Toronto and the United States. Yeah. Rodney, I'm in your house. I'm in the other room. I'm upstairs. Brazil. Wow. Okay, so let's get right to it, and I'm going to start my trusty phone countdown app here. 10-minute segments here. So let me just answer some of the questions that were posed this week in the RodneyReynolds.com website. And by the way, if you want to ask a question, you will need to go to RodneyReynolds.com, and there you can go into the forum and ask a question. Okay, the first one is about computer mice. Can you have two computer mice on one computer system? So can you have, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 or even more computer mice on one computer system? Well, yes, you can, as long as, you know, they're not specialized computer mice, and they're not, you know, having special drivers and that kind of thing, because it could conflict with the other mouse that are on that particular system. Now, if you use the default Windows drivers, then you really can have as many as you want. I know that I have a couple actually on my number 2 rig, and by the way, if you want to find out more about my computer systems, you can go to www.rodsrig.com, and on my number 2 rig, I use that computer system for this, what I'm doing here tonight, and also I'm using it for a home theater PC setup. So I've got a 30-inch display on this particular system, and I also run another HDMI cable to a 52-inch TV that's just, you know, like 10 feet away, and I have a mouse over there, and I also have one here. So I'm very familiar with having a couple computer mouse on one computer system. Yes, it's fine, and in some cases it might be an issue if you have a specialized computer mouse or gaming mouse, and if you have, you know, specialized software installed, but in most cases it should work fine. People are wondering, why would you want to have, you know, more than one computer mouse? Well, that's a good reason right there. For me, I'm using one that, you know, where I'm away from the 30-inch display, the normal LCD display, and then I'm, you know, kind of like going behind it in the other part of the room on my TV, and I kind of need to use a mouse over there. So yeah, that's why I'm using it, and I can see why people want more than one on their computer system. So yeah, it's possible. This person here is having weird computer system issues. Let me just read quickly through this. Oh, this is about wake states on your computer system. I don't know if you guys have, sometimes this has happened, I'm sure it has to you. You put your system into a sleep mode, and mysteriously you wake up in the morning and your computer system, well, your computer is awake before you are. What's going on here? Why did that happen exactly? Well, there's a couple of reasons for that. It could be that you have an extremely sensitive computer mouse, and maybe, you know, it just maybe moved a little tiny bit in the middle of the night on the mouse pad. Maybe it rolled off, maybe you hit the desk, maybe somebody walked into your room and maybe the floor, you know, went up and down or something. If you have a really sensitive computer mouse, it can happen. I know it's happened to me where boom, all of a sudden the system is on and I went, oh my gosh, I just touched one end of the desk, and sure enough, bam, the computer system's on. Now, in some cases, it's network related, and you know, you can fix that if you wish in your motherboard's BIOS. So you can go in there and change the wake states. Of course, you can also change the power settings and sleep settings in Windows as well, and that would possibly solve your particular issue. But it's not an uncommon thing. You know, if every now and then it happens, it's not really a big deal. Ah, this is an interesting question. People get all excited about Windows Experience Index, WEI. Why is it that, for example, my WEI is not as good as my friends, and we have pretty much the same computer system? But you know what? I don't put a lot of weight in WEI because, to be honest, it isn't tremendously that accurate. What you want to do is really have some benchmark programs for whatever you want to test. So like, for example, if you want to test your video card's performance, well, you can download a game that has a benchmark, or FutureMark's got a few benchmark programs as well. A complete system benchmark would be like SciSoft Sandra. Also, for example, you could use HDTAC as well, or Tune, and you can test your hard drives and that type of thing. But don't put a lot of weight and don't get too excited about your system performance. You know, when it's according to Windows Experience Index, it's not. You know, I wouldn't put too much weight in that, and don't be too upset if, for example, your computer system, which is almost identical to your friends, and you know, have a lower hard drive score or a video score, that type of thing. Actually, I don't think I've done it a couple times, but I don't really bother with that at all. The next question is about resolution, really. Why is more video memory useful when running CrossfireX? Well, this could be said for having, it doesn't have to be CrossfireX, it could be, you know, SLI, it could be just having more resolution, a larger screen that has a higher resolution. Why do you need more video card memory? Well, it's because of the resolution. You're going to have, you know, a lot more processing power is going to be required, and memory comes in handy for that when you're doing and playing games at higher resolution. I know a lot of displays these days are coming out 1080p displays, and you know, that's not high res, to be honest. High res is something like this. You know, you're looking at a screen that has a massive resolution, and it does take a lot of power and a lot of memory, certainly, to drive that. And a lot of video cards these days, pretty much standard is 1 gigabyte. You can get 2 gigabyte, and in some cases you can get 4 gigabytes of memory on the video card, which is, I think that's a pushing limit, but still, when you're looking at a multi-screen setup like this, it is handy to have. It certainly is. The next question is about hard drive lifetime. How long or when should you really think about changing your hard drive? In other words, you know, maybe you want to change it before the hard drive dies. You want to be proactive and, you know, not let the drive die before, well, it's dead and you lose all your data. The best thing to do is have a couple of drives, one backing up another one, or do some kind of RAID array where you can just replace one drive, and if one drive or two drives were to fail, if you're worried, really concerned about that. But, you know, normally hard drives will last unless they're dropped or treated very poorly, or if they're in extreme conditions with like heat and so on and so forth. They should last a minimum of 5 years. Now that's depending, of course, on the environment and how they are used. But there is really no need to just, you know, chuck your hard drive and get another one if it's fine. You know, you can normally tell if a drive is going to fail. You know, we'll start making clicking noises and that type of thing, and it will really start to perform poorly and that type of thing. But normally, should last under normal conditions around 5 years. And that's, I found myself, not for my main C drive, but for my backup drives, that's what I find. You normally hang on to a drive for, you know, 5 years approximately. And then you need a bigger drive because you need to store more information on it. But that's what I find myself keeping a hard drive for around 5 years. And the last question here is about gaming, and I guess laptops versus desktops. Now this is certainly an old question, and which one's better? Well, I mean, there is some very fast laptops on the market right now, extremely fast, but those are very, very expensive. And if you were to put the same amount of money into purchasing that type of gaming laptop and the desktop would outperform it tremendously well. So that's my view on laptops versus desktops. Now, the great thing about a gaming laptop is, of course, you can just take it. You got everything in one package. It's very, very convenient. But if you want a really high-end gaming laptop, you are going to have to spend a nice bit of cash to get something that will equal probably a desktop that will be at least half the price. Now, I know that a lot of laptops these days are coming down in price, but still, I would go with a desktop over a laptop unless you want the portability. Okay, that's a timer, and that ends segment 1 about the answering questions from RodneyReynolds.com. So let's restart the timer here. I'm going to check Ustream and see if everything is okay. Everything is still broadcasting. This is still new to me. And by the way, sometimes if I'm looking into this camera, it's the web camera, which is broadcasting live right now. And I'll be sometimes looking into this camera, which is actually the HD camcorder, which is recording all of this. And that I will actually post that particular video on YouTube. So that will be a high definition video as opposed to this one. And hopefully that won't, of course it won't have any lag and audio video issues and that type of thing. And by the way, is everyone right now, is everything good for everybody out there? No problems with lag and with audio and video syncs from this live broadcast? It looks like everything's good for a lot of people here. A few people are having lag. I know last week's show and a couple of the shows that I did before that, I was broadcasting it at 720p, and for some people it was fine, but for others it wasn't. And of course that's to be expected, because if you have a slow internet connection, then you know you're not going to get it that well. And also, of course, Ustream, there's an issue, and me sending it up, and there were audio video sync issues even from me sending it up. So I mean, I'd like to be able to broadcast this at 720p, but unfortunately, it ain't there yet. But maybe, I'm sure it will be. Okay, the next segment will be about this week's videos, the unboxing, the video reviews, the poll, the picture videos, the Q&A videos, and the poll videos. So let's start the timer again, T-minus 10 minutes for this segment. Now, first of all, I'll be taking questions from you on these different topics. The first one is about the video review that I did this week, which was the Thermaltake A60 case. Now, if any of you out there have questions about this particular product, let me know now. The Thermaltake Armor A60 case, let me link it up here in chat so you can go over and have a look. I've got like a million tabs open here, so bear with me. Just to grab this case, let me fit this on the desk here. Okay, let me get back to this. Well, yes, you can install, somebody asked about a radiator at the top of the case. Yes, you can install a radiator, not a long one, not 3 times 120, but you could do a 2 times 120, no problem whatsoever. You can put a 100, there's a 200 millimeter fan here at the top now, but you can put a 120 and a 120, so you could have a 120, 120, 2 120 radiator here at the top if you wanted to. Fan noise on this is fantastic. It's the fans are great. They are quiet and they also push a lot of air, so they're good. This fan at the back is 120, so you could install the new ALC coolers from Corsair and Cool It and so on and so forth. Here at the back you could put the radiator from those at the back as well. Dust filters, well, there is one at the bottom for the power supply fan. That one's removable. And there's also one here at the front. Let me turn around the case. Just yank this off. You know, I love these new front bezels. They are so easy to take off. And I don't know if you guys remember, but years ago, well, not too long ago actually, and still, a lot of cases have all kinds of cables and stuff attached to the front bezel. And, it's not that easy to take off because you kind of got to, the front bezel is attached to the case and you're trying to not rip it apart. But most new cases now, that's not an issue at all, it comes off. And by the way, going back to the fan filters, there's one at the bottom again for the power supply fan and another large one here on the front bezel for the front fan or fans here at the front. And also the drive bay plates or covers here, they double as dust filters as well. There is a USB 2 and USB 3 connection. USB 1, USB 2, 1 USB 3. This is an eSATA or external serial ATA, however you want to say it. Pop this back on here. Sometimes these things, let me just orientate myself correctly here and pop this back on. You've got the audio and reset and the power. Quite a nice looking front on this case actually. I slammed it too hard, sorry. Popped out the plates. No removable motherboard tray, which is unfortunate because I personally like them. Some people I think I'm nuts because I love my cases with removable motherboard trays. I mention it almost in every single case video review that I do. I know, gentle Rodney, I know. I'm just too strong, I guess. Pop these covers back in to position here. Person there just joined. This is the new Thermaltake A60 case, the Armor Series case. Very affordable case, very good case. I gave this case a kick-ass rating. Let me just post a link to it again. Is it better than the Cooler Master 962 Advanced case? No, I wouldn't say it is, but it is a very, very, very good case for the money. I mean, it's very well done. It has pretty much everything you need. And it also has this cool, you can watch the video review on this, but it has this cool hot swap drive here. You can install a 3.5-inch drive and it pokes through the left side panel, so you can just yank the drive out and put it back in, and it you know, it goes to a little tiny slot in the left side panel for that. So that's pretty cool. Just questions about this product right now. I'm going to end that because I got a few other things to talk about as well, and take questions from you. Any more questions quickly? Expansion slots, there are 7. Cable management, well, you know, there isn't really much cable management, but there are a few hooks here on the motherboard tray, so you can attach cables to that. And there's lots of space behind the motherboard tray, you know, for cables as well. So there's, you know, nice bit of space between the motherboard tray and the right side panel. Well, this case has good airflow. I mean, you can put a couple fans at the front or one big one that pulls in cooler at the front. It's got a massive one at the top, porting all the warm air, one at the back porting all the warm air. So that's a pretty good design. You got a lot of cool air coming in, and you got the fans exhausting the warm air. Also, the left side panel, which I've removed right now, that also you can install an optional fan on the side panel. And you know what? That is truly what makes the difference between a case that doesn't perform very well and one that does perform very well, is having a fan directly here. Some people actually remove their cases, left side panel, and they just put a house fan, like, you know, one of those desk house fans, that just blow a lot of air right on top of everything. And this is really where you should have that as well.
You have mail.
Okay, so that's it for this thing. I'll put this away for now. Now, this is the other thing that I did a Q&A video on this week, is the NVIDIA Surround. And I've got 3 displays here. And, you know, it's great for gaming. Let me just launch something here now. Any questions on that? On the NVIDIA Surround setup, using 3 displays, you can go, let me just get the link for that, so if some of you missed that particular Q&A, you can go to it. Play a game. You know what, I think I'm going to do just videos on me playing games, nothing else. Because people are just asking me to play games, play games. I don't know what's so exciting about me playing games, but I don't know. You know what? I was going to launch Mafia 2, but there it goes. There's a lot of swearing in this, so I'm going to can that because, well, you know, this is a PG show. Great game, by the way. So that ends this segment, but I'll just take a few questions here from you about this particular setup. This particular, well, once the whole 3 screens are populated and you're in a game, you can do 3,456 by 2,048. Which is a pretty big, massive resolution. And to be honest, you know, it's a little slow. If you look at my benchmark that I did on Mafia 2 in that Q&A video, it's around 30 frames per second, and that's fine for the most part, but that's not with everything at max, you know, not all eye candies turned on. So you really truly need to have a really powerful setup if you're doing 3 screens, because you got a massive resolution. And this is something that I was talking about earlier. Right, you must have the GTX 400 series video cards to do this kind of setup in surround. You know, the 460, 465, 470, 480. Is Mafia 2 worth it? I think it is. It's a great game. The demo is anyway. The demo is fantastic. Oh, and to tie up this particular segment, I did the video of this week, which I'll link to as well. The poll video, sorry, that I did this week is about sexy hot chicks or computer. What would you prefer? And you can't have both. You can only have one. You can go over there now if you want to. If you haven't voted already, let me give you the direct link. I gave you the comment link there, but let me give you the direct link to that particular poll on 3dgameman.com. Okay, this next segment is sponsor related. Put my trusty timer on here. This next segment is about a mystery product, and it's about video cards. Zalman has a number of products that you can use on video cards. So if you want to replace your video card cooler, then they have a number of different options for that. Now, this particular one, and by the way, they are the VF3000 series, and they vary depending. They have ones for NVIDIA, and they also have ones for ATI. This particular one, actually, let me go through these one by one here, and I'll put links up to these as I am talking about them, or at least I'll try to do this. Let me pull over my Ustream tab. You would not believe how many tabs I have open here now. Just trying to... Okay, there's this product from Zalman. This is the VF3000F, and this particular one is for the NVIDIA GTX 400 series video cards. And again, that one is the VF3000F. Their other product is the VF3000N. A link to that one as well. You might be interested in this one if you have an NVIDIA GTX 200 series video card. And finally, their last VGA cooler is the VF3000A, and it's red for ATI video cards. And this one supports the, I believe it's the ATI Radeon HD 5800 series video card. So if you are thinking about replacing the video card cooler on your particular video card, you know, it might be a good idea to think about either one of these, depending upon what type of video card that you actually have. Now I'm going to create a poll here. I'm going to stop the previous one and ask you about video card coolers. Do you think that video card coolers work better than... Oh, it's not going to do that. Okay, it's too long. Okay, video card... Do video card coolers work better than stock? Yes or no? So do these kind of video card coolers work better than the stock cooler? I'll start the poll now. Do you think that these work better, or is this just you know, some kind of marketing gimmick? Interesting to see this poll. So do video card coolers work better than stock? Do these particular ones work better than stock? You have to love the polls here in Ustream. It's just like, boom! Wow, most people believe they do work. Look at that. But there are many people who do not. Just let the poll run here for a little bit longer. And by the way, there are 184 viewers right now. That's great. Fantastic. Thank you so much for showing up. I probably won't be doing any kind of video on this particular one because, to be honest, they sent me just this one. I asked for a number of these, but they just sent me the VF3000N, and this one is for the GTX 200 series video cards, and I do not have a GTX 200 series video card right now, so probably not. What these video card coolers will do for you in most cases, now some video cards, of course, come with extremely good coolers on them, so there's no need to purchase a product like this. But in some cases, the video card will perform a lot better if you purchase a product like this, because it will allow you to overclock the GPU and the memory. This product does come with the memory heat spreaders or heat sinks in the box, so you can put that on the video card, depending, of course, what type of video card it is. This product, this is the VF3000N. Just open it up here, give you an idea what it comes with. These are the heat sinks or heat spreaders for the memory. There are also a couple of other few items in here, and they include a case badge, and I believe thermal compound, a cable here, a fan cable, and this is a rheostat to control the speed of the fan or fans on this particular cooler. User's manual. And the video card cooler. You see this thing? Now this one here, again, is for the GTX 200 series video cards. Very nice. Lots of heat sinks. Very well designed. Looks beautiful. Two large, I believe these are 92 millimeter fans. You can see copper heat pipes, a copper base here for the GPU. Very, very nice indeed. And this actually would be a perfect option for, you know, the GTX 200 series video cards, because in some cases those video cards, well, they don't come, the stock cooler is not that great, so this would be a perfect option for that. But you can get these for the GTX 400 series video cards. You can also get them for the ATI HD 5800 series video cards. Again, these are VGA coolers from Zalman, and they, in most cases, will improve the video card performance depending upon, of course, the video card that you actually have. Now, anyone out there have any questions about this particular product or something that you'd like me to show you on camera? You know, I don't know if they have anything for the 5770 product. I didn't see anything on their site about that. Is it heavy? No, this is not that heavy actually. It's pretty light. You see all these fins? Man, it's unbelievable. Look at this. It's like a spaceship. Now that's an excellent question. Would removing the stock cooler, so the video card, if you get a video card and the cooler that's on that video card, that's a stock cooler, is by removing that cooler, do you void the warranty of the video card? In most cases, yes, you would void the warranty. And that's an excellent, excellent question. And I'm glad you asked that, because it reminded me to tell you that installing a product like this could void the warranty on your video card. Check with the manufacturer. Some manufacturers are more tolerant than others when it comes to this type of thing, and they do allow it. I don't think there's many. I'm not going to mention any names here because I'm not quite sure exactly which ones you know, will void the warranty and which ones won't, but in most cases it would. There's a few mentioned here in chat. I'm not going to mention them because I'm not quite sure exactly. I think that person's right. Those two were mentioned that they will not void the warranty, and that's a good thing, you know, because I mean, if you're catering products to enthusiasts, and you know they really truly want to overclock their products and get the most performance out of them, and it's nice that they will honor the warranty, you know, when you're doing this type of thing. I mean, taking off a stock cooler, it's not difficult, but I mean, you know, it is a little time consuming, and you do need to be careful, ground yourself, and so on and so forth. You know, so, and you need to remember to apply the thermal compound right to the GPU, and you know, make sure that the RAM sync, the memory sync, sorry, for the video card are installed correctly, and make sure that they don't drop off and ground something out. So you have to be pretty careful on that. So any more questions on this one, this product? So thank you very much, Zalman, for sending this product, and I'm hoping that I'll continue to have interesting products sent from sponsors who want to be part of this live broadcast that I'm doing every single week, and there seems to be a nice bit of interest in this, and I have to say that's good. And with, you know, with over 184 viewers online right now, it's good. And you know, of course, there's the recorded show after the fact as well, and it's good. It's great to see. So thank you very much for showing up for this live broadcast, and this will be available on Ustream as well as on my personal Rodney Reynolds YouTube channel. So thank you again, and until the next time, take care. Bye for now.